All right, so we've been learning systems of equations. What was the first way I taught y'all to solve a system? That was the second way I taught you. What was the first day? We did what? We graphed them. We graphed a line, and where was the answer? Where they meet, the intersection, yes? That is called the solution. Then 2 days ago we learned substitution, where we isolate a variable and then we plug it into the other equation. Today we are going to learn the last method, and it is called elimination. What do you hear when you hear the word elimination? Eliminate, to get rid of something, yes? And that's what we're going to do today. We are going to eliminate either the x's or the y's, and you have to pick which one would work to eliminate, okay? To do this, there's a few things. First of all, both equations have to be in standard form. What is standard form? ax plus by equals c. Meaning, the x and the y both have to be on the left side of the equal sign. The x term needs to be first, the y term needs to be second, and then the number by itself, the constant, needs to be to the other side of the equal sign. Yes? If they're not in standard form, you need to rearrange them to standard form. All right, then you're going to line up your equations on top of each other. So we're going to write this to the top. You line up equations in standard form. So to do this method, you do not isolate a variable. You stack the equations in standard form. And then to eliminate, you will combine the equations and eliminate one of the variables. So like I said, the main thing you need to do before you decide what method to use, today we're using elimination. You need to say, are they in standard form and are they lined up on top of each other? And then you can go on with this method. Okay? Let's go look at the first example. All right. Look at example 1. Are both of the equations in standard form? Yes. Are they lined up? The x's are on top of the x's, the y's on top of the y's, and the constants with the constants. All right, so we're good to go. We don't need to do anything. All you're going to do is combine the equations. You're going to add them together. So you're going to put a line right here, and you're going to combine them. When you do this, one of the terms will eliminate. Okay? What is 6x plus 3x? 9x. What is negative y plus y? Did it just eliminate? That is why this method works. I now have equals, and I add 5 plus 4 is 9. I now have an equation where I can solve for x. Yes? How would I solve for x? Divide by 9, and I'm left with x is equal to 1. I now have the x value that satisfies both of those equations. How will I solve for the y value? It's the same thing as we've been doing the past 2 days. Plug this number in for the x in either of the equations, and the cool thing is you get to pick which equation you want to use. So which equation do y'all want to use? Top or bottom? Bottom. So I'm going to use this equation, and I'm going to plug 1 in for x and solve for y. Yes? So I have 3 times x, which is 1, plus y equals 4. Well, what is 3 times 1? So I have 3 plus y equals 4. How would I get rid of the 3? Minus 3 And what is 4 minus 3? 1. I now have my x and my y. Can I now write it as a coordinate? 1, comma, 1. What do y'all think? Super easy. This is super easy when it's set up for this. If it's not set up for this, it's not super easy. Okay, but they will mostly be set up for you today. All right, look at this one. Is it in standard form, both of them? Are they stacked on top of each other? Would one of them eliminate when I add? What's going to eliminate? So I'm good to go. Here we go. Let's go combine them. What is x plus negative x? 0. It's gone. What is 4 minus 2? So I have 2y equals, and what's 9 plus 3? 12. I'm going to get rid of the 2 by doing what? Dividing by 2. And I get y equals 6. How am I going to solve for x? Plug this y in for either equation. Pick the easier one if you can figure it out. I think the top one's easier because it doesn't have negatives. So I'm going to use that one. Does it matter, though, which one I use? No. I'll get the same answer no matter what. Okay, so I have x plus 4 times y. So plus 4 times y is 6 equals 9. So x plus 4 times 6 is 24. And then I subtract 24. And 9 minus 24 is negative 15. I now write my answer as a coordinate. Negative 15, comma, 6. What do y'all think? Super easy. All right, now let's look at the next one and tell me, what do you see that would be a problem? Nothing's going to eliminate, is it? So this method will not work the way it is set up. Now, I want y'all to think back a few weeks ago when I taught y'all equivalent equations. When we were learning standard form, what did we learn? The a cannot be negative. And so we learned how to get rid of it. What did we do? We multiplied the whole equation by what? Negative 1. If I multiplied one of these equations by negative 1, would I then be able to eliminate the y's? So you just pick one that you want to change. Which one do y'all want to do? The bottom one? So I'm going to multiply this whole bottom equation by negative 1. Because it keeps the equation equivalent and it gets me what I need. Now I'm going to write the problem over here and stack them. So I'm going to write the top one, 2x plus y equals 7. And then I'm going to write the bottom one after I've multiplied it by negative 1. Negative 1 times 1x is negative 1x. Negative 1 times positive y is negative y. And negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. Now is it set up to eliminate? Yes. All right, so I go combine the terms. What is 2 minus 1? 1x, so I'm just going to put x. This eliminates, and I have 7 minus 1, which is 6. Now I'm going to pick an equation to plug this back into. So I'm going to choose the top one, and I'm going to do 2 times x, which is 6, plus y equals 7. So that's 12 plus y equals 7. And then I subtract 12. And I get y equals negative 5. So my answer is 6, comma, negative 5. Okay, look at the next one. are both of the equations in standard form? Are they stacked properly? Would one of the terms eliminate if I combine them? Why? Because negative 7 plus 7 would zero out. So I want y'all to go do this one on your own. At least get the x real quick. Did everybody get x equals 2? All right, now I want you to choose one of those equations and plug it in to solve for y. All right, did we all get the y value was negative 1? All right, we're going to, excuse me, we're going to skip this one. It's not even written correctly. And we're going to go to this one right here. Is this one set up correctly where both equations are in standard form? So what would I need to do first? Rearrange. This top equation is not in any form. To get it in standard form, I need to move the y from the right side of the equal sign to the, how would I move it? Subtraction. So I have 3x minus y equals 5. And is the bottom one set up correctly? So I would leave it alone and I would do 2x plus y equals 5. If I combine them, will I eliminate something? So I don't need to multiply by anything. I'm just now going to combine them. So I have 3x plus 2x is 5x. This eliminates. And 5 plus 5 is 10. I divide by 5. And I get x equals 2. I now plug 2 back in for x. Which equation do y'all want to use, top or bottom? Bottom. So I have 2 times x, which is 2, plus y equals 5. And I subtract 4, and I get y equals 1. And my answer is 2, 1. All right, we're going to do one more of these, and we're going to do one that has decimals or fractions. Okay? What you need to understand is that if you get a decimal, that's fine, but you cannot get a repeating decimal and use it to plug back in and think you're going to get an accurate answer. So if you get a repeating decimal, you need to put it as a fraction so that it's accurate for you. Yes? All right, let's do this one. Is the top equation set up correctly? Yes. Is the bottom equation set up correctly? I need to move the negative 4y to the, okay, by adding. So I have 9x, I'm doing the top one first, minus 4y equals negative 55. And then I have 3x plus 4y equals negative 21. If I combine these, will something eliminate? Yes. So I have 9x plus 3x is 12x. This eliminates. And negative 55 minus 21 is negative 76. If I divide by 12, I'm going to show y'all what we get. Does everybody see we get a repeating decimal? I do not want to put that as my answer because I'm going to need to go plug x back in for x so that I can solve for y, and this is not accurate. So how would I change this to a fraction? Math, fraction, enter. So x is equal to negative 19 thirds. Now, pick an equation. Which one do y'all want to use, top or bottom, to plug it back in? Anybody? Bottom? Okay, so I have 3 times x, which is negative 19 thirds, equals negative 4y minus 21. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 times negative 19 thirds. Which is negative 9. Oh, thank you. 3 times negative 19 thirds. There we go. Negative 19. Equals negative 4y minus 21. What am I solving for? Y. So I need to get the y by itself. So I'm going to get rid of the minus 21 by adding. Negative 19 plus 21 is 2. And how do I get rid of the negative 4? What is 2 divided by negative 4? Negative 1/2. So negative 19 thirds, negative 1/2. None of your answers will look like that today, but just know it absolutely can give you an answer like that. No, because x is a fraction, and it's not going to give it to you. Wait, what were you trying to say?
I was just saying, could you put it into the y?
I don't think I understand what you're asking.
Since there's only one variable, you can just change the y to that.
Oh, you're saying would it have solved this equation? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, your y equals button will always solve an equation. Okay, flip to the back. Now you're going to be given word problems where you have to write the equations. Remember that when it says you have two numbers, if you don't know the numbers, we call them x and y. So look at the first one. The sum, what does sum mean? Total by adding of two numbers is 70. Well, I don't know the two numbers, so what do I put? X plus y equals 70. Was that hard? One number. So pick one. X is equals 10 more than. I'm waiting on y'all to write it for me. 10 more than. Y'all don't know how to write 10 more than? 10 plus or plus 10, doesn't matter which way because it's adding. 10 more than twice the other number. 2y. All right, I have my two equations. It says find the numbers. Well, if I want to solve this by elimination, they both have to be in standard form. Is this one in standard form? Is this one in standard form? Can I rearrange it? All right, what would I need to do? Minus 2y. So I have x minus 2y equals 10. If I was to use elimination, would something eliminate right now as is? No. So I need to multiply one of them by, I'm going to do the bottom one. So I have x plus y equals 70, and I have negative x plus 2y equals negative 10. This eliminates. 1y plus 2y is 3y. And 70 minus 10 is 60. If I divide by 3, I get y is 20. So what's the other number? I got to plug it back in, yes? And I would say x plus 20 equals 70. So what's the other number? 50. Do I write this as a coordinate? No, because it says, what are the numbers? The numbers are 20 and 50, yes? All right, look at the next one. This is a vocabulary word from 7th grade that y'all might or might not remember. Two angles are supplementary. Does anybody remember what that means? There's supplementary and there's complementary. Supplementary makes a straight line. So, does anybody know the angle of a straight line? 180. So if two angles are supplementary, that means they add up to equal?
360.
No. 180. Yeah. So if I don't know the angles, I call them x and y. So how would I write that? X plus y equals 180. Now, just so y'all know, complementary means they add up to 90 degrees. They make a right angle. Okay. The measure of one angle, so let's just say x, because I don't know which one they're talking about, is equals 10 more than 10 plus 3 times the other angle, 3y. Find the angles. All right, is this in standard form? Is this in standard form? So I'd have to rearrange that by bringing the 3y to the left by subtraction. So I have x minus 3y equals 10. Would anything eliminate? Nope. So I got to multiply by a negative 1. So I have x plus y equals 180. And then I have negative 1x plus 3y equals negative 10. Are y'all good with solving it? Can we just move on and set them up? On your assignment, you have to solve them. Do y'all understand? So then you would solve and you would get x equals and y equals. All right, let's set up the last one. Question.
Would it be wrong if we did put it as a coordinate?
Kind of, yes, because it says what are the find the measure of each angle, and it's not talking about a coordinate. It just says what are the numbers. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Last one. The difference of two numbers is 3. Do you know the two numbers? So we call them. So their difference. Somebody write it for me. X minus y is 3. Their sum is 13. X plus y equals 13. And then what would you do? Solve it. And you would have x equals and you would have y equals. And you would need your answers. All right, I'm going to give you your assignment. Excuse me. Put your name on it. When you get it, you're going to solve each system. Just make sure they are set up correctly. So make sure they're in standard form. They're stacked on top of each other. And if one won't eliminate, you're going to have to multiply by negative 1. Yes? Also, please don't forget, like on number 1, what coefficient is in front of these x's? So when you add them, it's not just x. It's 1x plus 1x, which is 2x. So just be careful with that. When you get to the back on 17 through 21, I am grading you on what are the numbers. So your answer should say x equals the number, y equals the number. If you just write the equations, I'm not going to give you credit for that. Like, you have to write the equations to solve it. Yes? Okay. All of the answers are integers except one of these. I think there's like 0.5s in some of them. Okay? The rest, all integers, no fractions, no decimals. Okay? All right, you may get started.